Hey guys, it's Kim here with Fairily Fiber Fun. I wasn't planning on doing any videos this month. We're revamping and going through a lot of health issues and things. I'm trying to get my shoulder repaired because it's very painful to spin or knit right now. So there's a lot going on, and I would like to give you guys more of the content that you want to see and less just me talking randomly to a camera. So if you haven't already, hop on over to Patreon and vote on your favorite shows. It's running until the poll is running until the end of the month, so go ahead and hop on over there and vote on your favorite shows. Today is a different sort of thing. This is an unboxing, but not fiber. Today is knitting needles. My sock knitting needles, US size 1, broke. I do magic loop, and the cable broke where it enters the needle, and I was so mad. I'll post a picture here so you can see. I tried to glue it together, nothing worked. So I had to order another pair, and I already know I like Hiya Hiya needles. So I ordered from Purl Pointe, and I have to show you. It came in this package. And there's this little sticker right there. So it came wrapped up in tissue paper, which is really cool. And when I opened the package, it wasn't just the needles, but also some stitch markers. And there's a stitch marker, a pink one right here. So this is really cool. Now, that's awesome, and I love that I've got my new needles. They look incredible, but this is really cool. The invoice. Thank you, Kim. Regards, Trin. P.S. Hope you are enjoying your summer. So that's a really cool little note. And I feel like I've ordered from Etsy, from my favorite shops on Etsy. So if you haven't shopped at Purl Pointe, I think you should give it a try. Shipping is prompt, and customer service is great. And the owner of the shop is not against creating custom sets of knitting needles and such. So, and the products are great. She is located, Purl Pointe is located in the U.S. Let's see, this came from Brooklyn, New York. So it is a shop local to the U.S. that provides Hiya Hiya needles, which are made in China. And we do a lot of Hiya Hiya knit-alongs and things, or I do. And that's how I got my first set of Hiya Hiya regular interchangeable needles. I got the Sharp Steel interchangeable set for hostessing a knit-along. And I'm hostessing another one August and September. If y'all are interested in joining in, I'll post the link in my video. In the show notes. But yeah. So these are some great little needles, and I can't wait to use them. I'm very happy with the packaging. And shipping was prompt, and the note was a little extra special, and I'm just absolutely delighted with this experience. So, and the needles are incredibly flexible. I don't know if you can see that. And they're green, which is really cool. No more boring blue and brown. I got green. Well, so I thought I was done recording, but it turns out that I'm not. These are the best ever sock needles. The best needles I've ever used. I got these in the mail yesterday, went ahead and filmed the unboxing and raved over the needles. And then I cast on and started knitting, and I got about half of the toe done yesterday. And all of this in a few hours just this morning. for maybe 4 hours, 3 or 4 hours of knitting, and I wasn't knitting the whole time. So, number one, I love these needles. They are my favorite needles in the whole world. I will never go back to using cheaper needles or a different quality. The ones that broke were Addy needles, and these are like the Rolls Royce of cars versus the beat up old clunky Ford. These needles are the best needles in the world. I absolutely love them. I'm blasting through this sock. I'm knitting at double my speed because of two things. One is these are the smoothest needles I've ever used. And the other is I don't have to fight to get the stitches over from the cable onto the needle. So when I switch, I don't have to fight with them. They just slide right on. There's no more shoving and forcing the stitches over from the cable onto the needle. It's a very smooth transition. So I am really happy with that. The cables are the most flexible cables I've ever used too. But these are not the only Hiya Hiya needles that I have. I did I was hostess for one of their knit-alongs, and this was my prize. And it's a neat little case. It's got a pocket on the back. When you flip the lid open, it's got a pocket right here, a little one. And then it's got this flap that covers the tips of the interchangeable needles. And these are two US 2, 3, 4, 5, which are currently in a project, 6, 7, and 8. So this is the standard set, and I got the short tips. So they're really, really short. Let me get the big ones out. They are extremely short tips. And even with the little piece of cable attached, they're not long. And these were my first interchangeable needles. And the only thing you have to worry about with these is getting them screwed in all the way. If you don't get them screwed on all the way really, really tight, they come undone while you're knitting. So there you can see the difference. And also, this cable is thicker than the sock needle cable, which is better for transitioning your stitches from cable to a large needle. The thicker the cable, the better for large needles. But it's still very flexible. And last but not least, it swivels. It swivels. These cables swivel inside the attachment here. So that's just fantastic. So when I'm working with these needles, the cables don't get tangled up on me like they do with other needles. And these are the sharps, so the tips are really, really pointy. And the only problem I have is when I make my stitch and I go to push the needle back in, it sometimes draws blood. But as long as you're careful, that's no problem. Sharps are great for lace and intricate stitch patterns because you can get the sharp tip in there into multiple stitches at once with a lot less fuss. I like them for cables too. And let's see. This is how you, this is a little packet for getting the needles attached properly. Comes with gripper needle grips and the little tightening tool. So it only comes with one set, and so if you lose it, you gotta order new ones. But these are great. And I'm very happy with this needle set. Right here, these were my first Hiya Hiya needles, and I have loved them, and I look for excuses to use them. Unfortunately, I never use size US 2 for socks, and I knit a lot of socks. So that's why I've got these. And I'm going to order another pair because I would love to work on 2 socks at the same time without doing the 2 at a time on the same needles. I did order the 32-inch instead of the 40 because although I like to do magic loop, the big loops on both ends, they fold over and tangle up. They do something along the lines of this. And it drives me bonkers. So shorter cables are better for me. I can knit socks on 24-inch needles. Excuse me, I got a piece of fuzz in my mouth. But it's a little difficult. The cables are really too short at 24 inches. So 32 is the shortest I would recommend for doing 1 sock at a time. And definitely if you like to do 2 at a time, the 40-inch would be better. Now, I showed you how I'm blasting through this sock. And I'm just going to slip it on this is my daughter's foot right here. I'm using the Fish Lips Kiss heel pattern for sizing and the heel. And I'm using for this sock Simple Skype sock pattern for the stitch pattern. So this is what they look like so far, and I've already gotten this sock about halfway done. It's not going to go up very high on the ankle, and I've got another about another 3 inches before I'm ready to start the heel. And then I'll probably knit about 2 inches and do a rib, a 1-inch rib. So, you know, I'm absolutely blasting through this knit and loving these needles. They're so fast, so smooth, so, I don't know, soft. They feel like silk in my hands, and the knitting is effortless. It's amazing. So definitely you should try out the Hiya Hiya products, and I ordered from Purl Pointe because I'm a member of the Purl Pointe group on Ravelry, and I really like the people there. I found them through the Hiya Hiya knit-alongs, and oh yeah, I'm hostessing again for Hiya Hiya. It's been 2 years, and I finally got called to fill in for someone else, which, you know, I was so disappointed when I checked the hostess list, and I was like, oh, I didn't get to do it this time. But congratulations to those that were picked, you know. And then I got the email, hey, could you possibly take this knit along? And like, holy cow, yes. Yes, I can do it. So it is a shawl knit along, and it is running August and September 2017. And so far we have, I think, 10 active participants, which, you know, started August 1st, and today is the 4th, 5th, something like that. It's the weekend. The kids have gone back to school. It's the weekend. So I'll post a link in the bio if you guys would like to check out the knit-along or the group. And I will link to the Purl Pointe shop, because if you want to order needles from them, the customer service is incredible, and the needles are awesome, and I literally cannot see because I've been looking at bright light, and then I look down and I can't see what I'm working on. So I'm going to set this down, and I know that's not hand spun and it's not fiber, but it's the most awesome needles in the whole world. If you knit, buy your needles from Purl Pointe. You won't regret it. If you crochet, try out their hooks and tell me what you think about their hooks, because I haven't tried them yet. All right, I think that's all. I'm going to let you go now, guys, and I'll see you next time, whenever that might be. Bye!